Yay Networks.
I vow
I vow
to post
to post.
every day.
No, I can't say that. I vow to post way
More
more.
often.
More often.
It's a big day here in the
Oh,
Burt Hall Aylward household
is it?
because I have a new side pouch
Oh.
on my wheelchair.
It's been a long time since you've had a pouch.
Throughout my life, I've had several side pouches
Oh my God.
on my wheelchair. Never quite found one that sparked joy
Mm-hmm.
and held the number of things that I require,
Mm-hmm.
like candy,
No, you don't even eat
a
candy.
bottle opener,
What?
my notepad.
You don't use a notepad.
But then JanSport invented a adaptive wheelchair bag
Yeah.
that is perfect.
Finally.
And they very kindly sent me one.
Yep.
Thank you, JanSport.
I mean, it looks really good. I will say that.
If you can, I don't think you can see it in the video very well, but
No.
I'll be posting photos of it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I need all of you to let me know what fun and secret items I can put in my pouch to liven
Uh-huh.
our spirits.
Well, I put my phone in there. That was the first item we put in.
Yep.
My phone.
We're obviously going to have my wallet,
Yep.
Tit Tats,
Oh.
or mints of other kind,
Yeah. Gum for me.
gum,
Chapstick.
tissues.
Tissues is a big one.
A bottle opener is a real one,
Okay.
so you don't have to be using my
I can't.
side of my chair
This
anymore.
chair doesn't have a good spot, so we've had issues.
But today's
People
episode,
who don't know that I can like use your old chair to open beer bottles
yeah.
are like, what is happening? There used
my
to
old
be a
chair used to
spot.
have a really convenient bottle opener. It wasn't made for that, but
Yeah, it was just a little triangle in one of the joints that just popped the thing right off, and now this one doesn't have it. So it's a big deal, actually. It's been detrimental to our quality of life.
yeah, it ruins our day more often than you might realize. Anyway, this episode's not about my new pouch.
No,
As
it is
much
not.
as I would love to spend 45 more minutes,
Yeah. We always have a plan, and you never, ever stick to that plan. Every single time we begin the podcast, you bring up some personal, usually it's a grievance, but today it's a victory.
I like to begin unexpectedly.
Yep. Yes, you do.
I like to deliver wonder.
You're speaking so slowly. Everyone is like, okay.
I wonder if my speaking style bothers people.
It bothers me
I
sometimes.
contemplate
I'm like,
every word.
spit it out. Yeah. No. He's thinking.
We're going to let
everyone.
Hannah mostly talk today.
He's thinking.
Hannah, what are we doing in this episode?
We are going to tell you about an accessibility. It's kind of a victory.
It's a big, well,
It's a victory.
it's the beginning of a victory.
Yeah, but there's more things that need to happen. So something exciting that happened, and then we are going to talk about
How we suck
Yeah, exactly.
as creators.
Well, not quite that, but
It's not really going to be an apology, but it's
no, it's just some personal issues we've been having that have led to business issues.
And then to wrap it up, what are we doing?
We are going to be telling them about our recent trip that we just took and some
Yeah.
things that happened on that trip.
We did a really big speaking engagement.
Yeah.
Like bigger than we expected.
I know. We never really know when you go into a speaking engagement. We can talk more about this, when we get to this segment, but we always go into these and we don't normally know how many people are going to attend. Like they sometimes give us a ballpark, but we don't usually know. We don't know the kind of room. We
Yeah.
got to this one. It was like
It was a stadium.
yeah, it was a stage where they have had major like plays and music acts. I was like, oh my God.
And I looked out and there are hundreds of
Yeah,
people.
a lot of people.
So it was great. It went really well. But
Yeah.
we'll tell you about that whole trip in
Yeah.
a bit. But let's begin
Let's begin.
with something really cool that happened in the world of disability
Yes.
this past week. The House
Yep.
of our government passed the FAA Reauthorization Act,
Yes, they did.
which contains in it
Here's
Ma-
that slow language.
many accessibility improvements for flying with a disability.
Yes.
And we're going to go through that now and explain why this is such a big deal.
Yes. So this is a quote. It says, if signed into law, this bill would represent the most substantial improvements to accessible air travel since the Air Carrier Access Act was passed in 1986. Which, what exactly? I'm sure, like, no offense to that act. I'm sure before it was, you couldn't fly or something, and now you can, so that's great, but it leaves a lot to be desired.
If before that, they were allowed to turn you away if they didn't like the way you looked.
Well, they still do that if you don't have, like, I just heard
Yeah.
about someone, it was a couple who was traveling and they both use wheelchairs, like, you know, not even like a power chair. They both use manual chairs. They were traveling in some other country. I can't remember where. And they got there fine. And then on the way home, they were turned away by the airline
It was
because
in
they
Paris,
didn't
I
have,
remember that. Yeah.
they didn't have a supervisor. They didn't have a guardian.
An attendant.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, we've been on like a month-long backpacking trip in Europe. Like, we're actually good to fly home. And they weren't allowed, they had to go on a different airline home. They were
Yeah.
literally stranded.
I read that story as well.
Yeah.
And that is a great example of the kind of current landscape of flying with a disability, but maybe to like drown people a bit more.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Ah.
Could you give a little more context about what it's like flying with a
Yes.
disability?
Flying
these
with
days?
you. I mean, we know
With
at
me.
least what flying with your disability is like. I mean,
Brutal.
it's not great. Yeah. I don't really even know where to begin. Like, if people don't have any background, basically, you can't take wheelchairs, you know, onto the airplane with you. They have to go down below with the luggage, where a lot of the time they get damaged really, really badly.
Look up the statistics. Like, wheelchairs are damaged.
It's like 26 a day.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Like every day.
Yeah.
And these are wheelchairs that we obviously rely on for our like existence.
Yeah.
So when suddenly your mobility is taken away from you, it can be catastrophic.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago, a woman died because
Yeah.
she was put into a loaner chair.
Yeah.
Because the airline broke her wheelchair and she got pressure sores because, like, Shane can't sit. Imagine if you were just given like a random chair. I mean, it would
It
be
wouldn't work.
impossible. And she ended up passing away. So it's a very, very serious issue.
It's horrible. And to make it worse, like the processes of getting someone like me onto an airplane are woefully insufficient.
Yeah.
And the processes, if the airline does break your chair, to report it and get it fixed are complicated and long,
Yeah.
to the point where like
It's months.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be months without a chair.
Yeah.
So, and you know, then like on airplanes, bathrooms aren't accessible,
Yeah.
and airports don't have accessible bathrooms.
Yeah.
Just many, many things that make it a not fun experience.
Many, many things.
But, you know, a lot of disability advocates for years have been pushing for reform to this whole process.
Yeah.
And finally, we're making some progress.
I do feel like in the past few years, it's gotten way more
Attention.
strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are some of the things that are in this act, this reauthorization act.
And this was passed by the House,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's a law yet.
Needs to go to the Senate. It will go to the Senate in September, apparently.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of time, but let's see. All right. The first thing it says, it mandates important technical and economic feasibility studies to examine the use of wheelchair spaces in planes, followed by a negotiated rulemaking procedure to push these developments through the next stage. It's
And
kind of gibberish, but
we put this is the big one.
yeah.
And I put it first because it's the most exciting of
Yeah.
the things in this bill.
I mean, mandating those studies to get wheelchairs on airplanes is huge.
If you've been watching our channel, you know that we've been screaming into the void for years saying we need to allow wheelchairs on airplanes so that
Yeah.
I and other wheelchair users can roll on, get strapped down, and stay in the comfort and safety of our chairs.
Yeah.
And now they're moving forward with like figuring it out.
I know.
You know?
That is huge.
I don't have any like hope that it's gonna be a fast process.
I know.
But the fact that they're allocating money and making it a rule
Yep.
that they begin figuring it out
That's
feels
better than
like good
nothing.
news.
Yeah, definitely. All right, number 2, stricter enforcement to address the shocking mishandling of stowed mobility devices.
Yes.
So that's good.
Very good. Yeah. But if you break my chair, I get to break you.
Oh, that's going to be the strict.
An eye for an eye. That's what the bill says.
All right, improved training on the handling of mobility devices for baggage handlers.
Which is good.
Very important. Every single time we fly, we duct tape all around with bubble wrap. We duct tape bubble wrap onto Shane's joystick, and we've been taping a big sign that says "Do not touch" on it. And yet, every time we have flown, it has been wrenched out because people try
To grab it.
to grab it. I don't even understand. And that joint is so delicate. Seeing people out the window of the plane wrenching on it and it just breaking, and you're like,
off, yeah.
that is the most vital piece. It's horrifying. So yeah, having more training for people to not start yanking. We had someone take off the bubble wrap and try to steer your chair that way, but we take we disconnect the battery.
The battery
it's not going to turn on.
work, yeah.
So then they were wrenching on it, and it was just hanging by a thread when we got the chair back.
So more training certainly could be useful.
Yes. All right. More in-depth training for airline staff charged with assisting disabled passengers to transfer in and out of seats.
Yeah. So we're fortunate in that Hannah is able to carry me onto the plane.
Yeah.
Hannah's strong and I'm small.
If you were any bigger, we wouldn't be able to fly.
No, the way that
all.
most people have to fly is airline employees who are poorly trained
Yeah.
to lift them, have a group lift,
Yeah.
and they get
And they
people
sit
on
on
that way.
Well, and they sit on a tiny aisle chair with no sides to it so
Yeah.
that they can transfer. So you have to have the core strength to sit upright with no support
Yeah.
for a while you're jostled down the airline. You have to be not disabled from the waist up, essentially. It's very important. Or strapped in and have enough stability to hold your head up and stuff. Shane cannot do
I
that.
can't do any of that.
No, so if I wasn't able to carry you, we would absolutely be
fly.
barred from airplanes.
Yep.
Yeah, not possible.
We know people who've been severely injured
Yeah.
by the airline employees lifting them onto planes.
Broken shoulders.
Because
Yeah.
they don't know, this. Every disability is
Very unique.
unique. That's
Yeah.
the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And there just needs to be much more intensive training about how to properly do that.
And how to listen to people.
Yeah.
And take instruction from the person you're
That
you're
should be
handling.
the only new thing.
Yeah.
Listen to the person that you're helping.
There's no protocol. Listen to the person and do what they say. Okay. Then more accessible in-flight announcements. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
If you can't hear the announcement, you have no idea what's going on.
Right. Love it.
Efforts to improve whole journey end-to-end accessibility from arrival at the departure airport right through to leaving the destination hub. So that's airport stuff, which is good.
Yeah. I think, making more accessible bathrooms,
Yeah.
making wheelchairs more readily available,
Yep.
things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's we have a long way to go,
It's exciting though.
but it's great progress.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a link below for you to email or contact your senators because they now need to pass this in September.
Yes.
And if we make noise, they will listen.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully this is not an issue that rubs anyone. How can this not pass?
I mean,
you know?
it passed
So,
in the House nonpartisan.
yeah.
So bipartisan. What's the?
Yeah.
But both sides were for it.
Yeah.
Um,
So hopefully it goes through, but it can't hurt to email your senator and make sure that they know that this is important.
yeah, tell them that Shane wants to fly.
That should be the subject of your email. Delete. What is this?
All right, everyone, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to tell you about some of our recent
Issues.
issues.
Oh boy.
Hannah, you know what I would rather be doing right now than recording a podcast?
Oh, what, Shane?
Lying on my couch from Article.
It is an amazing couch. I will say that.
It's so soft.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's comfortable. We absolutely love it. And the couch is perfect, but I honestly think that the best part of this entire process was the customer service that Article gives.
Yeah, their communication was top notch.
I mean, it's the best experience we've ever had with purchasing furniture, and we've purchased a lot of furniture. They offer fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada, and they do not leave you waiting around. You pick the delivery time, and they send you updates every step of the way.
their delivery emails even have this like live tracker,
Yeah.
so you can watch
Yeah.
in real time.
And you know Shane watched.
Oh, I watched. The delivery's almost here. 1 minute. The other best part, lots of best parts here,
Yeah.
is that their prices are absolutely delightful.
They really are.
And by that, I mean low.
Yes.
Because of their online-only model.
Yep. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. That's amazing.
Whoa.
To claim, visit article.com/junkyard and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/junkyard for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. All right, we're back. We're ready to talk about, what's been on our mind recently.
I wasn't smiling when you began.
That's okay.
I was looking in the camera like a lost, sad puppy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine, Shane. Make whatever face you feel
That's
best.
how I feel.
Yeah, okay.
Like a lost, sad puppy.
That's not good. Basically, we've been thinking about this for a while. I think this is just kind of like an overarching feeling in our lives right now.
We're about to vent to you.
Yeah. No, it's not even that. It's like a mix of guilt and
Yeah.
it's just a whole thing. I don't know if people have the same impression of this as us. Like you might be like, I don't sense this at all. But we feel like we have not been as present online,
Yes.
on YouTube, on Instagram, like in our community as we had, like I would say for the past year.
There's definitely been a level of distance
Yeah.
between us and our audience, our community online,
Yeah.
and it bothers us. Like
Yeah.
we have been feeling guilt about it for about a year,
Yeah.
trying to diagnose it and improve it, and
Yeah. And it's not has nothing to do with the audience itself. We just haven't been putting out the same kind of content. Like all we make right now, like we've made this isn't like a hard truth, but the majority of what we're making right now is these podcasts.
Right.
And for some reason we haven't been able to like make other stuff. It's just not happening. And like every day we like plan for it and we're like, we should make a vlog about this. And it just like has not come together.
we should make a post about this, and all it would take is a photo and a little caption.
And it just
And
doesn't,
then we don't
happen.
do it because what I believe, and we can talk about why we think this is happening,
Yes.
is as we've risen in popularity and our audience has grown, we've subsequently become much more censored so as to protect our mental and emotional health.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
No, I think this 100% started for me a year ago when I had a bunch of reels on Instagram that went like viral.
Yeah.
We had one that got like 130 million views. Like
In like 3 days.
yeah. And then I went up 700,000 Instagram followers within like a month.
And a large number of those followers were not being nice to you.
Yeah. And it wasn't even just like the 125 million, every video was getting millions and millions of views. 50% of the comments on those videos or more were not from people who followed me. They were from people who it was popping up on there, whatever. And so many of the comments were so mean, like rude, which we're used to. But when it's 125 million, like that video probably has 100,000 comments.
That number is like hard to wrap your head around.
Yes.
But let me just let you know that it feels overwhelming.
Yes.
When you're reading literally an almost endless stream of like people telling us that we shouldn't be married.
Yeah.
People like explaining why we shouldn't have kids.
Yeah.
Our fertility journey also made
Plays
it
into this. Yeah.
like harder.
Oh, 100%.
Because that is such a personal thing, and there are all these people out there who are teaching and
everything about
being hateful about the whole thing.
And exactly. Not even just like that we shouldn't have kids, but people who are like, maybe this is naive of me. I didn't expect people to have an issue with us doing IVF.
Yeah.
Like as like a science, like as a thing, people being like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like I just didn't expect that. So there's just a whole lot of things where every time we post now, it just feels exhausting that this is going to be an onslaught of whatever opinion.
And I can already hear your comments saying, ignore the haters.
Yeah.
There are plenty of us that love you.
That's why we feel guilty.
But that's why we feel bad. Like, we love those of you who are supportive and show up for every post and have nice things to say.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to just ignore the level of like ignorance and hatred
Yeah.
that we receive.
It's like if you went to work every day and half of the people like screamed insults in your face and your nice coworkers were like, why is that bothering you? Just ignore them. I'm nice to you. You know, it really does. It's not like a fake thing that's happening. It's a real thing that's happening that it can't just be ignored. Like that's just not possible.
And so like we love what we do. We love making things that make you laugh or that entertain you and help you learn about disability. But we're finding ourselves more and more questioning
Yeah.
every idea we have on like a much deeper level than we used to.
Oh,
We
yeah.
used to have an idea, make it, boom, post it,
Yep.
hooray.
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh, well, that's going to get this
Yep.
negative reaction. And
Yeah.
what about people that might negatively respond in this other way? And
Yep.
you know what? Maybe let's not do it.
Yeah. For everything for a year. So we make nothing. Like our number of posts must have gone down by like 80%.
So what is our resolution here?
We don't have a resolution. We're trying to be better. And I am really curious if people have even noticed that we haven't
That's
made
the
as
thing.
much.
Yeah, I wonder if people have noticed.
I don't know. I don't know.
If all of them are like, no, we didn't know.
Then we didn't say
then
this.
ignore this. This didn't
Then
happen.
it's fine.
But we just wanted to like let you know if you did notice it, that we do feel guilty. It is something that we talk about every single day.
Yeah.
And we are working on ways that we can kind of bolster our confidence and emotional state
Yeah.
and not worry as much about the criticisms because we want to post more.
Yeah.
We want to make videos and not care about all the mean people out there.
Yeah. Seriously.
So, hands in
Hands in
on the count of 3.
on the count of 3.
Put your hand on top of mine.
Why?
We're doing like the team thing. Like, one, you know?
That we're doing a fist bump.
We can do
Like
it that
a
way. That's more accessible.
Boom. Yeah.
That's more accessible to me.
It's more accessible to you.
Hannah,
Yes.
say Shane,
Shane,
I vow
I vow
to post
to post.
every day
No, I can't say that. I vow to post
More
way more
often.
More often.
and
And
if people are mean to me,
if people are mean to me,
block them
block them
and don't give up.
and don't give up. Team on 3.
Squirmy and Grubs on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Squirmy and Grubs. I think that did it.
Okay.
I feel reinvigorated.
You
do
too? That was all it took? A year of talking about this and you just needed a team cheer?
I just needed to cheer. Maybe even we're making posts from now on. Whoever's doing it, the others should cheer us on.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, press post.
Oh
You're
boy.
the best, Hannah. Do it.
We can try that technique.
a
It might
little,
work.
a little positive affirmation.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back to tell you about our recent trip and speaking engagement.
Yes. Be right back.
I don't think Shane and I are alone in this, but we have a problem with getting takeout.
Yes, we seriously have a problem.
We have a serious problem that needs addressing. Choosing EveryPlate over takeout saves you money while still letting you enjoy quick, satisfying meals. Their meals are 50% cheaper than your average fast casual meal, which means they're the easiest way to eat affordably. They're also super sustainable. EveryPlate offsets 100% of their delivery emissions, and their meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint on average than supermarket meals of the same portion. Plus, nearly all packaging materials are curbside recyclable in most areas of the U.S.
100%. That's even higher than 99%.
Okay. And EveryPlate makes mealtimes easier without compromising on quality. Their recipes include only the highest quality ingredients, including sustainably sourced seafood that meets the Monterey Bay Aquarium seafood rankings. So you know your meals will be fresh and flavorful.
Our EveryPlate box this week had a lot of recipes that involve potatoes. And let me tell you my joy opening up a box full of potatoes.
Shane was very excited.
I sang.
And we all know that meal kits can be expensive, but EveryPlate's lower price point is what sets them apart from other brands. Get started with EveryPlate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49junkyard. Again, get started with EveryPlate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49junkyard.
Get yourself some potatoes. And we are back.
We are.
We were sitting in silence, waiting for each other to begin.
I thought, I was like, I'll let Shane take this one. And then we just sat silently for like 7 seconds.
Staring dead into the camera. Last week, Hannah and I spoke at the TBEX Worldwide Conference.
I'm going to repeat that in case that wasn't clear. T-Bex.
Not one of the words that I can say very well.
Yeah. I don't know, what is that? Do you know what it stands for? Travel?
Well, I know that it's a conference for travel bureaus
Yes.
and travel creatives.
Yes.
People that make content about travel.
Yep.
And we gave a keynote on
We did.
what was our topic.
It was about how we got our start in content creation, how we have grown, kept going, all of that.
Yeah, and how like authenticity plays
Yes.
a role in what we do.
I really, really enjoy doing that speech because we normally do one that's much more about like ableism and our relationship. And we talked about that in the speech because like that's the whole part of our channel. You know, that's why we started our channel and all of that. But this was much more focused on like on our content creation. And I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Craft.
Yeah.
You know?
It was
Yeah,
fun.
it was a fun, like different type of talk for us.
Yeah.
The conference was in Eau Claire, Wisconsin,
Yes.
where we've been before.
Yep.
And fell in love with that little town.
Yep.
So we went back there for one night. The night before the speech, we walked around Eau Claire. We got a nice dinner, and the waitress at the restaurant where we ate
Yeah.
remembered us from a year
Yeah.
ago.
She was like, it's been a year. We were like, it has.
She was so friendly. She was like, "How have you been?"
Yeah.
We were chatting.
And we remembered her. We were hoping we would have her again. We were at the same table. It was exactly the same.
And then a crime was committed. Hannah spilled
Oh my God.
my espresso martini.
I cannot believe you remember this. I bumped his espresso martini and a teaspoon of liquid like sloshed over the rim and landed on the table. And you should have seen his face. It was like I took it and smashed the whole thing on the ground.
You might as well have.
Shock, betrayal. It was unbelievable.
It worked out in my favor because she let me get another one.
Yeah, Shane was like,
Which-
I didn't get a full one.
Why did you give me a baby voice?
Because that's literally how you sounded when you were begging for a second espresso martini.
But then we walked to get ice cream.
Yes, we did.
Where did we eat dinner? Hooligans, right?
Hooligans.
Hooligans.
Hooligans. It's very similar.
That was delicious.
Their food is so good.
Yeah.
Like the entire meal, we were just like, wow, this is so good. Wow, this is so good. Every bite.
We walked to get ice cream.
Yeah.
And I had to tell, like, part of the story is that during dinner, 2 people recognized us and, like, said hi. Very friendly. And as we went to get ice cream, we ran into 3 more different people
Yeah.
who recognized us.
Yeah.
And I share this because Hannah and I have been noticing lately that every time we leave the house,
Yeah.
we are getting recognized
It's a lot of people.
way more than normal.
I think it's my reel that has 125 million views. I'm
It
not
must
kidding.
be.
Like, I feel like so many people have just seen a couple of our reels and they recognize us, you know?
I saw an interview with
But I will say, hold on. I will say that most of the people who, like all of the people that come up to us know us very deeply.
Oh yeah.
So it does not seem like these people have only seen a reel or two. Like
No.
that happens every once in a while. But everyone that we talked to had like, it was very clear that they knew a lot about us.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I saw an interview. It's been weird for us. Like, as our fame has increased, like, it's just a weird thing to experience more and more people
Yeah.
that know you out in public.
It's cool, but yeah.
And I was watching an interview with Mr. Beast, who is like the most
Yeah.
popular YouTuber. And he was talking about his rise in fame and how at 100,000 viewers, you have no way of conceiving what your fame will be like at 1 million.
Yeah.
And when you're at 1 million, you have no idea of conceiving
Yeah.
50 million
I can't even
or
imagine.
10 million, you know?
Yeah.
Like it increases unrealistically at every step.
Yeah.
And we're at 1 million or more,
Yeah.
and it feels, I don't know how we can be more recognized
I know.
than we are right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
I'm
yeah,
afraid
it's
of that.
really you're afraid of that. It's something. I can't even imagine people like him who are
Yeah.
so visible.
Yeah, we're like everyone on earth
Yeah.
knows your face.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, so we got ice cream.
Yep.
We went back to our hotel
Yes, we did.
and practiced our speech at the bar.
Yes, we did. We wrote all of our notes down on our notes, like added things.
We had to wake up early the next morning.
We did.
We had a very friendly barista
Oh yeah.
at the hotel coffee shop, and there was no more sugar available. And this
Which,
is
if you know us, is a major problem.
for Hannah.
No, it was you like sugar in your coffee
I
too.
do. I do.
You had gotten I gave you like the 4 remaining sugar packets.
Yeah.
And then I realized there was none for me.
This employee had to like almost leave the building.
I don't know where she went, but she left the coffee shop.
She left for a long time to find a sugar
Yeah.
and brought us back this little like cup of
It was like a to-go, like a
Yeah.
little Tupperware of sugar because there were no more packets.
so friendly,
So nice.
so helpful. And then it ended up that she was familiar with our work as well.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you again,
She saved our
barista.
drink, our morning before our speaking engagement.
So it's like 7 a.m. We're getting our coffee, heading over to the conference center, and the conference center is bigger than we realized.
It was a beautiful. I don't know how new that building was, but it seemed very new.
the Pablo Center
Yeah.
in Eau Claire.
It was
yeah.
beautiful, right on the river or rivers that meet there.
Uh-huh.
And then we saw the place that we were speaking for the first time,
Yeah.
and it was a very, very nice
A legit stage.
main stage.
Like the spotlights.
Oh
and
yes,
everything. It felt like we were performers.
I know.
Did it make you more nervous or no?
I actually was not very nervous.
You
for
didn't seem
this.
nervous
I wasn't
at all.
nervous. I don't know why.
I was going to say, I felt for the first time ever like I was more nervous than you
Yeah.
for a speech.
We were sitting backstage and I was not nervous. I don't know what got into me.
My hands were sweaty.
That's interesting. Yeah, your hands were dripping sweat. It was bad.
You were pretty chill though.
I was.
And our
That's
speech
so
went really
impressive.
well.
It did.
So we get out on stage in the spotlight, and we see there's like 400 to 500 people in the audience. I was like, dope.
You know why I think I wasn't nervous? Because I have never had a sense for counting people, like knowing how many people
Yeah,
is in a
that's
clump.
right.
Like, and counting anything. If you give me like the jar of jelly beans thing and it's like, you can win, you know, a computer if you can guess the number of jelly beans, I will be off by 1,000 jelly beans. I cannot
That
eyeball a number.
jar looks like it holds about 5,000. Am I correct?
They're like, it's 40. So I don't have a sense of that. And so I didn't think it was very many people because when
Yeah.
when we finished, Shane was like, that must have been 400 people. And I genuinely was like, I thought it was like 80 people. And then I was like, see, like 8 across, 10 back. And then I was like, oh,
No.
no.
It was like 30 across and like 30
yeah,
back.
it was absolutely not 80 people, but
It was a great audience, and I thought our talk went really well. They laughed the whole time, and it was with us, not at us.
yes, that's
So
good.
that was nice.
Mhm.
And then we walked around the conference a little bit, met a bunch of travel bureaus.
Yeah, that
They
was
were
cool.
all very friendly.
The conference itself seemed like an amazing conference to go to. And I wish we'd been able to go to like all of it. They had trips beforehand that participants could go on,
Yeah.
like to different areas of Wisconsin. A really, really cool conference with
Seems like a
so
really
many,
fun time.
so many cool people there.
Yeah. And then on our walk back to the hotel, recognized like 3 more times. And we were like, all right, we need to just go hide.
Shane's freaking out about this.
But overall, it was a great trip,
Yes.
great experience. Big thank you to T-Bets
Yep.
and Eau Claire for hosting.
Got to go back soon.
Everyone from Visit Eau Claire also
I know.
is so friendly.
Yeah.
They were all coming up to us, like referencing our Eau Claire vlogs that we did a year
Yeah.
ago, and it was just very sweet of them.
Yeah, they were awesome.
So that's where we are at in life.
Oh, that was kind of a little twist.
Big conclusion.
Anyway, Eau Claire is awesome, but that's where we are in life.
Well, we told them about the accessibility victory,
Yeah.
and then our performance issues, and wait,
Don't call it that.
oh no,
Oh my god. That's the title of the episode.
Shane's
Performance
issues.
issues.
Oh, we actually might call it that.
Oh my
It's a really good
god.
title.
No, I
All
don't
right,
know.
we're gonna end there.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the podcast, everyone.
And we'll be back with some new content very soon. Any day now. If you enjoyed this episode, what, Shane, were you
I
going to
was
say
just
something?
time to make a vlog.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review wherever you're listening, all of that stuff. And it's a junkyard out there.
And we all have performance issues
Oh, God.
at times.
He's stuck on this.
It's not something to be ashamed of.
Shane.
You just need to accept it and go through it and perform better.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.